Call the meeting to order. Palmyra Town Board meeting Monday, July 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. located at Palmyra Town Hall, W 1125, Highway 106, Palmyra. Certification of compliance with open meetings law.
Yes, the agenda is timely posted.
Roll call.
Gajewski.
Here.
Martins.
Here.
Sauter.
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Approval of town board minutes from 6:09 to 6:30, 25.
Move over as drafted.
Second. Motion been made to approve the minutes for both dates. And a second, any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Bills. Which requires a roll call vote.
GFL Environmental, $10,199.91. Lang Enterprises, $412.62. Twill Office Supplies, $146.62. Johnson Block, $3,050. R.R. Walton and Company, $3,500. Community Insurance, $111. Palmyra True Value, $8.91. Village of Palmyra, $900. Northwest Services, $17,595.27. Northwest Services, $12,546. Josh Gajewski, $230.87. Robin Martins, $230.87. Frank Sauter, $369.40. Humane Society of Jefferson County, $280.40. Village of Palmyra, $62,544.50. Michelle Smith, $3,329.22. Frank Sauter, $29.40. Northwest Services, $11,354. Jefferson County Highway Department, $1,563.18. Internal Revenue Service, $2,067.80. Lee Energies, $141.75. Brightspeed, $198.03. Lee Energies, $65.54. And Lee Energies, $82.51. And First Citizens State Bank, $165,549.
About the fire thing.
Not yet.
No. Okay, Bob, if you have a bookkeeper do this from now on, or whoever's going to count the bills, separate. We did that with mowing, I think, right, Michelle? Maybe not. Separate, it's mowing, trees going down, trees.
I thought she was already doing it.
Well, no, she's putting on one bill and
I think there were 6. 5 or 6 bills.
she's got.
Some of them yes, some of them no.
She has to manually break all that out, go to this category and that category. So a simple thing, really. What's the $280 for the Humane Society?
We pay them by the month
Well,
for
that's-
annual collection contract.
I knew we had.
Yeah, you guys
I
chose
thought
to
it was
do that.
something above and beyond that.
No.
Any questions?
Make that a motion to,
Roll call vote.
So the motion and second.
make a motion, we approve the bills for the month of June.
Second, I have discussion.
Go for it.
Jefferson County Highway bill included reposting signs from a traffic accident on Potomski. They've got got a, lack of a better description, crime scene diagram going on. You might or might not be able to answer this. If we submit that to the county, would you guys include it as restitution as part of the traffic accident?
But ultimately be up to the DA's office, I believe.
Okay.
It wouldn't be up to the sheriff's office.
Yes, that happened on, Young Road one time. Where he came in and paid,
We billed them, put a sign, we wanted to sign the bill and she did it.
Okay. Alright.
Would you like us to do that, would you?
Yes, I would second us paying the invoice and then invoicing the party involved for party at fault, I should say.
but I've got a question of that, is that part of, what I believe to be the sign stolen down there?
It's an accident.
It has nothing to do with, you said Rutunski Road, they disappear like, you know, what, or that road, so that's what I asked. Okay, now roll call.
Okay, Kowalski,
Aye.
Martins,
Aye.
Sawyer.
Aye. Okay, public comment. Citizen statement should be limited to 3 minutes, although the public may speak on any item not included on this agenda. The board cannot respond or discuss the issue brought forward at this time. In accordance with open meeting laws, the board must notice an item on the agenda to allow for discussion on that matter. Your comments will be considered and may be placed on future agendas for further discussion. Is there anybody?
Nobody signed up.
Worry about that? Correspondence.
None. Government.
Well, we're gonna cover correspondence on item number 1 of new business. And some will do that. So, reports, treasurer.
The balance in asset account June 30th, 2025, and the First Citizens State Bank general checking account was $198,945.30. Tax account, $120,000, $318.51. Airport checking account, $45,286.13. Local government investment pool, $90,691.48. That's it. Take care of the 55 cents in the airport account.
You did mention, as far as receipts, you said we got our, what was that, 2% higher fees?
So that's for your boost, yeah.
And that went up, about 3
A little less than I think. It was 13,000 something.
Anything on the treasurer's report, Joe? Clerk's report.
Nothing's reported this time.
Highway, Bob.
There's still there.
So basically, you're done with the chips and the pothole filling.
Pollen's done, we did complete Keller Lane. We did it in 2 different days because of the extreme moisture that was on there when we graded it out. So when we cut that road open, there's no place for the water to go but into the road. So we put down the gravel and everything, we compacted it, and then we waited a week, and then we went back with the grader again, and then we brought out the big roller. So that should be pretty darn stable now. So.
And people thanking you guys for
It's
going
pretty
to
bad.
potholes.
That's pretty bad.
Any questions?
We have additional info. Tamarack Road pulverizing started middle of last week. It is still closed. We are still asking people to find alternate routes around Tamarack in general, because you can't get to the middle of it really. Binder course went down today, surface potentially tomorrow, and then shouldering is gonna be TBD either later this week or beginning of next week. So essentially within 2 weeks' time, we'll have it graphic goal, I guess. So,
And I have gotten in-person thank yous on that. Really compliment the county there. Are you hauling? On your own road? Anything else? Fire department, you got the numbers, otherwise you got them on my phone.
Yep, did you guys get them?
Yes.
Okay. I added you guys, told them to add them on last time, because we saw that you guys weren't attached, so.
I didn't get an email directly.
There was some question about, the email that we have for you isn't the town of Palmyra address. You have one of those?
It's at outlook.com.
Oh, he doesn't.
Okay, we wanted to make sure that that was right, so we got it. Other than that, unless you had something for me, I don't have anything additional.
I've got the numbers. The township was 5 EMS, 2 EMS intercepts, 0 fire, 1 fire/EMS, no mutual aid given, mutual aid received 1, village 8 rescue, 0 EMS intercepts, 1 fire, 0 fire/EMS, no mutual aid, no mutual given or received.
So a couple things that kind of did for each other. You said a certain number of EMS intercepts, and you said 0 EMS
0
intercepts.
EMS.
And
For the town, we had 2 paramedic intercepts where they came and assisted us with an EMS call. In the village, we had none.
we're reading it.
I went towns and villages.
Does that make sense?
I didn't say it. I can't even have it. You want to go? Sure. Airport. The hangar's getting done. I'll send you an email on that. I did drive back there to get the floor for inside the hangar done. It seems to take a long time to get this done. Any questions on the airport?
I think we'll go back to the agenda.
Well, then let's go to the Blue Spring Lake District.
Fireworks were canceled because of rain and moved to Labor Day weekend. So that's really my only update. We'll talk a little bit more when we go to the sheriff's department.
Building inspector.
We have some building permits that were issued. There were 3 electricals, one of which was a cell tower, and one building notification for a cell tower. Total fees were $895. Of course, the town receives 10% of those, so we received a check for $89.50.
New towers going up?
No, just a building notification. It's on the bottom of your treasurer's report.
Emergency management plan. Really nothing to report there. How about the administrator? Did he talk to you guys about, sheriff, has he talked to you about any emergency management planning or anything like that? The talks were going very good before the old administrator left, and then, no, we're talking about the county administrator. What's the new guy's name now? Mike?
For, yeah,
No,
for emergency management?
no, the county administrator, who is it?
Man, I can't
It's
think
Mike,
of his
isn't it,
name.
Mike?
Replace Ben, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, he was taking care of that, and everything's fallen off the planet since, he, took over. I'll have to get up there, but you don't know really too much what we're talking about.
No, I have no idea, honestly. I don't even know the guy, I've never even met him, so.
One thing I will mention to you, that the school, Carrie, when are they having the next?
They said in August, but they were going to have one earlier, and then we weren't included in them.
That they weren't.
Yeah.
There's, emergency response, what would you call it, meetings between the whole community, the town, the village, Eagle, school district, Waukesha, and Jefferson. It'd be nice, so you you guys there, the sheriff's come a couple times. You know, I don't know when it is in August.
Okay.
Let me know,
I don't know yet either.
Yeah, you can just reach out to us, and I know Bill Dandoy does a lot with schools in the area throughout the county, so he'll probably be the one that's gonna be the point of contact for you.
but that's a good thing, but we all need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
What can a little town of Palmyra do if there's a disaster?
Yeah.
I mean, or an active shooter situation or whatever, so those are the kinds of things that are talked about there.
I know Deputy Dandoy has been reaching out to a lot of the public schools in the county, and he's been given like access cards, so whether it's like Clerk, who uses like the electronic key fobs or like master keys to get into the buildings, and he's distributed them to throughout the sheriff's office to deputies, just in case we had to respond to a situation like that. I don't know if Palmyra has been a part of that at all, or.
I would suggest you get a hold of the school superintendent. And talk about that. Should do that. Sheriff's Department, you got a question for the sheriff?
Yeah, a couple issues. One, first, thanks for joining us, and your name is?
Deputy Schrader. Schrader.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for taking time out to join us. A couple quick questions. Where do we stand on the investigation into all the road signs being stolen?
So I know.
We've heard that it's more than just Palmyra, it's around the county, but we haven't heard any update on the investigation. Where's it standing?
So I have no update on it either, unfortunately. I know my sergeant reached out to Detective Pettig, who was assigned the case, and he hasn't gotten any update yet from Detective Pettig if there's any type of suspect or anything so far.
Can you talk with him and make sure, try to get us an update for our August meeting?
Yep.
It'd be very important to us. We spent a lot of money on replacing signs, and it would be nice to know where the investigation stands and if at the end of it, there's any way to recoup that money, those funds. The other issue is, I also serve on the Blue Spring Lake District Board, and it's not just about the lake, but there's other areas of no parking in the town as well. But have had a lot of complaints about, there's no parking all the way around Blue Spring Lake. Had a number of complaints about, there's always, and the roads are pretty narrow out there. Where do we stand on, I know the county was asked to make some trips around the lake when they were in the area over the 4th of July weekend. Where does that stand? Were tickets written?
I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly if tickets were written. So for us to enforce parking on any township or county roads, it has to be clearly posted. And like,
Clearly,
okay, the signs aren't too far apart or anything?
There are signs that say anywhere around the lake, and there's other specific area signs as well.
Okay.
So it's well covered.
Gotcha. Yeah, we can enforce it, and then as long as the district attorney's office like says that there's clear postage and it's known that there's no parking allowed on the roadways, then they'll prosecute it and fine, make them pay the penalty. So I don't know exactly how.
So that means we have to get with the DA.
No, so like any of our county ordinances goes through the DA's office. We have to submit them through that, right? So we don't go
These
through.
signs have been up for years, for
Years.
the most part.
If he writes a ticket, it has to go through.
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
Period.
No, I
Speeding
get
ticket,
that.
whatever.
I get that. Just want to make sure that, so I can get back to the lake community, that, and I know we're in the lower quadrant to the corner of the county, and just want to make sure, so I can report back that the county sheriffs, the deputies, when you are out here, you are traveling around and looking for that as well.
Yes, yeah.
It is a serious problem, okay, very serious. And we spend in excess of $1,600 on South Shore Drive from the triangle, you know, where we repave down there and veer off the South Shore. That's very well posted, flagged, the whole thing. A lot of complaints, people are still parked on the road. A week or so ago, I was traveling around North Blue Spring Lake Road, for Christ's sakes, I had to stop and go to one of the people working at home and tell them to move, because I couldn't even get through in my car because it was so piled up. And that's one thing, but what if the ambulance had to respond? That type of thing. As long as we're on it, Tamarack Road, I was down checking and seeing how the highwaymen are doing here today. And the young man stopping traffic was approached by a trucker wanting to go down there. He was going to SNR. He needs to be taken, you can't force him to take H Bluff Road. But they're blocking the road, they're paving the road down there, and he's trying to get himself through there, and it didn't happen. But, technically it's closed right now for another week. Make some appearances down here.
Yeah, we do it next week.
Because I think they're gonna repave tomorrow. I couldn't believe that. Kenny Gordon told me, he was right there talking to the guy too. So, that, snow through trucks in that road, that's posted now. It's posted with state statute, the 34604, it can be enforced. And it needs to be enforced. Because I'm getting it, they're getting it. People complaining about going down the road. Did you have a question in regards to that?
Not
You
to
asked
that,
me.
but about something for Deputy Schrader, if it's.
Well, go ahead.
Is when you're looking into a few things, are you the person we would ask to find out if other villages and cities and towns are trying things that are eliminating or cutting down on the sign stealing? Because it would we as constituents have talked about different silly things, but if they have found something that it's helped, we would like to know that as a town.
So I wouldn't know what other towns are doing.
Who would I find that out from?
I mean, that's hard, because every sign that gets stolen from other towns, it's not always gonna get reported to us. Like if Lake Mills has signs stolen from the city of Lake Mills, it's gonna get reported to the city.
So I would call the
Not
cities.
us.
Okay.
For the whole sign thing, sorry, I kinda got last minute notice I was coming here tonight, and I'm just the area squad, and I wasn't able to contact Don Pettit.
Just to let you know, they're backing up those signs with a pickup truck
Okay.
and taking out the lag bolts. All it takes is a 9/16, they all know a pull over gone out. But my land, they're stealing the signs right on Highway 59, Big Whitewater, 7 miles. That's back of a pickup truck, 4 lag bolts, probably 2 people to do it. Who puts them up, I'm sure, don't you? Well, Tyson puts them in. So that kind of stuff's going on in the area. Got to watch
Is
for.
it Don?
Pettit,
Okay,
he's the detective of those.
There it is.
okay, thanks.
Something sign. Okay, anything else for the deputy?
No, just appreciative of you coming down, and if you could pass it on, that we'd like an update for our August meeting, which is the second Monday in August.
Yeah, I'll pass all the information down to my supervisor and
Appreciate it, thank you very much.
anybody else any other questions for me?
Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
New business discussion. Number 1, discussion and possible direction regarding customer service experience from GFL Environmental New Garbage and Recycling Service Provider. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Justin. I'm the government contracts manager for GFL. I've been in contact with Michelle and Frank about some of the recent issues, so they were kind enough to put me on the agenda for tonight and wanted to stop in and kind of just speak about the recent acquisition of LRS by GFL and answer any questions that anybody might have. First and foremost, I want to say apologies for the delays on my end with the responses in the month of May. I was out of office for about the entire month, so I had my automatic reply on, and I know there were some issues with delayed responses on our end for that, so apologies. I don't know if you have any initial questions that you want to ask right away.
I do.
Justin, what's your, obviously Justin, what's your last name?
Montani, M-O-N-T-A-N-I.
If I have a problem, without having to go through 15 pushes on this phone, what's the phone number I call, where am I calling?
So we are still directing calls for the town to our Gainesville Customer Service Center. So that is the same phone number that you're used to seeing, the 608-580-0580.
Which, is bad.
So,
Michelle had a
yeah.
hard time.
Yeah, I do want to speak a little bit about that. I know that that is something that a lot of people have raised concerns about since the acquisition, and it is something that we are actively working on. So with the acquisition of LRS by GFL, GFL uses a different system than LRS was using, so all of the information that we had in that system had to be transferred over, and there were some difficulties with that transfer. Number one, where we had work orders that were entered in the old system that didn't transfer over properly, so that created some issues for us. Obviously, there was training that had to be involved with that, so kind of difficult when you've got only an X amount of people that are set to answer the calls, while you also have to try and train them up on how to use this new system. So, I mean, everybody's trained up now, but there were some difficulties early on with that. I think we're at a good point now. They also use a different phone system, so I think that has a lot to do with some of the recent issues that residents may be experiencing when they contact us. So previously, when residents would call in, if we didn't have a representative that was available to answer the call right away, they were on the phone with somebody else taking that call, you were given an option to leave a voicemail, and those voicemails were then transcribed to the email address, and whenever the next available representative was able to handle that call, they would follow up on it, whereas now that voicemail is it's no longer an option. So when residents call in, there's a couple of different extensions that they can dial. So I believe that the residential extension is extension 4. So same thing, it'll ring for a little while, and then it gives an option for essentially just receiving a call back if nobody's available to take the call. So I think it's, you press 1, it saves your number in line essentially, but with that, there are also delays because since the acquisition, we were dealing with an influx of calls. Just as this information got out about these changes, you got customers that are calling in wondering, hey, are you still my provider? They've got invoices that are going out that look different than they did before, so they get a GFL invoice, they've got questions about that. So there's a lot of extra calls that we were dealing with that we probably weren't equipped enough to be able to handle. So since the acquisition, I believe we've hired 3 additional customer service reps to be able to handle those calls. And then another thing that we've done is previously as LRS, I'd say 95% of our calls were going to the Janesville Customer Service Center, whereas now with GFL, we have a couple of different locations that have customer service reps there that can answer calls. So for some of our other municipal customers accounts, what we've done is we've provided them with the local site that is responsible for servicing their community and having those calls, instead of going to Janesville, they're going, so let's say Waukesha or Sussex, those ones are now going to our Heartland location, and it seems like that has minimized some of the issues that we've experienced. So by redirecting some of these calls to other call centers, it's hopefully taking some of the stress and pressure away from our Janesville Customer Service Center. So it's something that we're well aware of the issues that people might have been experiencing as of late, but it's something that we're actively working on and trying to get back to people as quickly as we can.
Did you bring some business cards with you?
I do not have updated GFL business cards. I have old ones, but they don't have an updated email.
Are you staying for the whole meeting, or were you planning on leaving when you were done?
I was planning on leaving
Which is
one,
fine.
but I can email Michelle.
I would like your cell phone number,
Yeah.
but I can understand, you wanna just give it to Michelle, but
Okay.
text to us,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I can
Same cell
just-
phone numbers?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll email you all that stuff
Sounds
either
good.
later tonight or early
Sounds
tomorrow.
great.
What was the one, you just had another one somebody used?
Well, there was a recent one, and the person's actually here. Would you like to speak, Cindy?
I called GFL, first it was LRS, and then I found out that we are GFL, which a lot of people didn't know that you guys
Yeah.
switched. So I'm sure a lot of people don't know that. I also, 2 Wednesdays ago, because this is recycle week, my bin got crammed into the back,
Okay.
and the guy just took off with it,
Yeah.
alright? I called that same day, it took, and I've called every day after that, it took, this is before the 4th of July,
Okay.
it took a week and 2 days before I got a bin for
Okay.
my recyclables.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's not acceptable, because what am I supposed to do with my stuff?
So what our drivers are supposed to do, because that does happen sometimes where the containers, they're subject to the very warm summers that we have here and the very cold winters, so if people are storing their carts outside, they're only plastic and they can only withstand so much. So I know that those are occasionally, they'll grab it with a claw and sometimes they break. It is our expectation that our drivers, when things like that do happen, they contact dispatch immediately and tell them the address that occurred at. That way we can get a work order scheduled to get you a new container delivered, ASAP. I do apologize for the delay that you've experienced with reaching out to our customer service team. Like I said, there's issues that we're working through with this acquisition and the customer service response times.
I don't even think he realized that it went into the back of the truck. Because when I saw the bins open up,
Yeah,
but you would hear this boom, because you can hear it hit the ground.
yeah.
I didn't even hear it hit the ground, and then when I did go out there later on, I'm like, okay.
So you were able to get a hold of somebody eventually to get that scheduled? To get
Yeah,
a
finally.
container? Okay.
I mean, and I had some people from the town.
Yeah, and that's, obviously we don't wanna be taking up your time by having to field calls and emails about, service related issues, so, again, it is something that we are actively working on. We've hired additional help to try and combat some of the delays that people might be experiencing, but unfortunately, there are just some things with this acquisition that we don't have control over, and the customer service,
Question,
systems we
don't
use.
they have cameras that shine down into the bins that they see on their little screen that's in their trucks?
So the trucks were equipped with cameras. Some trucks, the cameras are better than others. They'll have different angles, side angles, forward facing, being able to see the rear. But obviously with the acquisition, a lot of that equipment is property of LRS. So we're working on getting updated camera systems in our vehicles that GFL representatives have availability to be able to view. So it's one of those things that we're also actively working on right now. So there's definitely some things that we've experienced since the acquisition that we've just had to work through as these problems come along. So obviously it's not something that we want to be having. The acquisition happened a little over 4 months ago now. So some of these things I can understand frustrations of still having to deal with some of these issues, but it's something that we're working on and trying to get figured out so that we can get things back to where you guys are used to having as far as customer service and the quality of service that you're getting. So with the acquisition, a lot of our LRS staff, I won't say 100%, but the vast majority of our previous LRS staff, drivers, operations team, customer service team, people like myself, all came over with the GFL acquisition. So it's a lot of the same people that you're used to working with or used to seeing on the roads, but there are some things that are different with the new company, just different policies and procedures. So I understand that when we're in the middle of a contract, it can be hard to work through those things, but it is something that we're working on.
Is Andrew still with you?
Andrew Klosik? Oh, Andrew Schlitz, sorry. Yeah.
Your operations manager?
Yeah, he's still out of Janesville. Yep. I have a couple of additional operations contacts that I can share with you as well after I can email those over to Michelle and she can distribute them out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have another question. Michelle, didn't you send, I know everybody doesn't look at everything in their tax bill, but isn't that where we got the notification that GSL was taking over?
No, I think it occurred shortly after that.
Oh, after that.
It was mentioned in a meeting, maybe March, maybe April, I can't remember. It was just mentioned in minutes.
Okay.
I guess the last, I don't know if you guys have this, I guess the last thing I would say is please be overly conscious of improving things. There have been a lot of complaints, and we just need the contract upheld and to start